This is the plaintiff, Teresa Long. She says she hired the defendant to install a new boiler in a rental property, and the guy delivered it, left it on the floor, and disappeared. He also took off with her hard-earned $4,000, and that's exactly what she's suing for today. This is the defendant, Nick Reiser. He says he was directed to go on the defendant's other property because the pipes froze. And after he completed that job, he was told by the plaintiff to forget about installing the boiler for a while because she didn't have the money. He did exactly what he was told to do. And he's the bad guy? Come on. He's accused of chilling on a customer.
Okay, Teresa Long.
Yes.
You are suing Mr. Reiser for $4,000 that you paid for work that you say he has not done. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. I called Nicholas back in December when Section 8 called me and told me that I needed a flute in the chimney and I need a plumber inspection.
Okay, you own a piece of property. You
Yes.
don't live in it.
No, right.
You rent it out to someone who has government assistance for their
Yes.
housing, Section
Yes.
8.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
And
So they tell you you're failing inspection and
Yes.
she can't continue to live there unless you do something
Right.
about the chimney. And what
Right.
they wanted you to do was what?
get a permit and put a flute in the chimney, a lining in the
A
chimney.
lining for, because the one that was there, I guess, didn't have a lot of integrity or something. All right,
That's
so
what
go ahead.
Okay. So another plumber had came in and he told me it would cost me $25,000 to $3,000 to put flute in the chimney.
25 to 30 grand.
Right.
Wow.
Then I contact Nicholas, and he says, you could do it. You could get a new boiler, more efficient and everything for $4,000.
Okay, but I'm not understanding. What is it? Forgive me, I'm a Miami girl. Explain to me how the chimney having a problem has anything to do with the boiler.
She had a piece of equipment that was 12 years old.
The boiler or the chimney?
Boiler. It was a standard gas hot air furnace.
But does it have anything to do with the chimney, or that's just
Yes.
some? It does. How?
It does.
How?
Using that type of equipment, you have to have it steel sleeved
Okay.
because the emissions don't make it to the top of the chimney. They condensate and they have problems with the chimneys.
Okay.
She has three advantages in getting that. First advantage is that she'll save half the amount of fuel that she burns annually. Secondly, she gets a $600 rebate from National Grid 2 to 4 weeks after the equipment
That's the
goes
electric
in.
company.
No, that's the gas company.
The gas company, I'm
And then
sorry.
she gets a $1,200 rebate from the federal government.
All right, so he tells you all this that day.
He tells you that you could get, like you said, it comes out to be almost $2,000 savings, so you're only paying $2,000 for the boiler.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. So we contacted him, and he went out and he told us about the boiler he was going to put in and everything. And he said he was going to order equipment and everything, and then we met again, and I gave him the check.
For the entire amount?
Yes.
Before the work is done?
Right.
Wow, okay.
After that, I called him and asked him when he was going to install the boiler. He told me first that he couldn't get into the house.
Okay.
So I called the tenant, and the tenant says he didn't keep his appointment. So he told me he should have a key. I said, I can't give you a key
No,
to that house.
right.
So I said, call her. She works during the day, but her husband works at night. So you could always reach somebody and they would let you in.
Okay.
And then he wouldn't keep appointments, and he said somebody didn't have no heat or something and he didn't go and stuff like that. So he just kept making excuses and he didn't go.
Okay, let me hear your side of things, Mr. Reiser.
We picked up a check from them on December 16th, I believe. It was for $4,000. The tenant, she made the appointment with the tenant. I had gone in there and I had looked at the chimney from the outside. I took a quick look at the equipment and so on, and that's when I went back and I spoke to her and told her about the new equipment that she'd be much better off getting.
Okay.
At that point, I had spoken to the tenant. I had called the tenant, and the tenant said she'd like to put it off until after the first of the year. I said, fine, no problem. So I spoke to the tenant again after that, and we had a date set up for the 15th
Of January.
of January. That's when I picked up the equipment. We delivered the equipment. I took the measurements of what we needed. I went to the sheet metal fabricator, had him fabricate all the metal up.
Right.
Okay, and we were set up to go in there on Monday morning.
Right.
That Friday, I saw Mr. and Mrs. Long again, and we went to another property.
How come? They called you?
Well, they had another property which was an estate, and that estate was from her late father, I believe. And on that estate, they had an oil system in there that was really in very bad condition. She had 2 outside oil tanks that was sitting in the weather. And what had happened was the system went down, and when I went into the house, he already had the house freeze up on him. He had pipes broken in the ceiling.
Wait. So are you saying that on the Friday he called you to do another job?
No, that Friday he signed me to put another job in with the same exact contract. In other words, we made up another contract for him.
For another property.
For
So
another
he called you on
property, yes.
Friday to tell
Right.
you that he wanted you to do the other property.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Monday morning comes. We were supposed to go to the tenant's place to replace the hot air furnace. Take the old one out, put the new one in. He calls me up and asks me to please come over there because
Over
he
where?
has
To the other address?
to the estate.
To the estate, to the
Right,
second job.
where he had the house frozen.
Okay.
And what we did was we went in there and we fixed the oil burner. We replaced a bunch of parts on the
So
burner
are you
head.
saying that on the day that you're supposed to be at the tenants, they call you to go do a
He
different job?
postponed it, yes.
Is they're the job that you were on instead of their job?
Yes, they postponed that
Okay.
job right there.
Okay.
In lieu of the problem they were having at Pleasant.
Okay. And so then what happens?
Well, the day that we went in there, where we were supposed to go do the hot air furnace, we had about $1,100 worth of charges in there, which I told them that I would make.
Are you talking about the house number 2?
Yes.
I don't care because I don't have that lawsuit in front of me. I care that they call you off of this job to go
Right.
do that job. That's
Yes.
relevant to me.
Yes.
Because they're saying, he was nowhere to be found. And apparently, if they just looked in their own property, they could find you. Is
He
that
was there.
true
He
that
was
you
right
called
there.
him and had him go do a different job?
That's completely different from what he's
Yeah,
saying.
but that's like, look, when I say, hey, the contract, I never saw him again. Yeah, I didn't see him again because I wasn't looking in the right property. I know he's in my other property because I made him go there. I mean, you didn't tell me that part.
No, the dates for the other property is completely different.
Okay,
He
show me the
just
paperwork
wouldn't-
for the other property.
Is it stupid to pay in full before a job is started?
Most definitely.
Why?
Who's to say what sort of job he's going to do? Could be a horrible job.
Well, so what's the point behind...
He's gonna run away and do nothing. He's gonna run away and do nothing. He's got the money, why stay for the job?
So the point being you want leverage over the guy.
Yes.
I got the point. I'm going inside the courtroom.
Yeah. It's exactly the dates that make sense with what he's saying. You signed this contract on January 29th. So when he's not there on February 1st, a few days later, I guess you know where he is. He's working on this. You don't deny he worked on this other job, right? So how can you say that he vanished into thin air? You made it sound like he vanished into thin air.
No, he didn't work on the property.
According to you, what ended up happening with that first property?
Well, what had happened was we were working on the first job. I mean, on the emergency.
Okay.
We finished up the emergency.
Okay.
We finally get all the equipment in, okay? And we go up to settle up. And at the end, she says, well, I want you to take the money that you owe me for this, and I want you to pay that with it.
I want you to take the money that I paid you for the first job.
$4,000 and
Wait.
pay...
I want you to take the money that I paid you for the job at the tenant's house. Forget about it. I don't want you to do it. Take back your boiler and use it to pay the rest of my bill here.
That's correct.
Is that accurate? Mr. Long, stand up. You got your wife here battling this whole thing alone while you're sitting there real comfy.
No, it's a pleasure. Well, to my...
Is that true, what he just said? Where you changed your mind about the tenant's $4,000 contract.
Yes.
And then said to him,
Yes.
we've changed our mind, we don't want to do this.
Yes.
Okay, so then is it accurate, like he says, that you then said, hey, I already paid you $4,000 on that, so use that to pay off whatever we owe you on the second
Right.
job?
Yes.
Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't change your mind on a deal.
No,
You can't
that's-
sign a contract and then think about it later. You
Okay.
can't do that. That's just not legal. He's right, you're wrong. I mean, you know what you could do? You could do this. You could say to him, listen, you spent $2,100 on that furnace. It's a certain amount of labor. You haven't done it. Can we negotiate this? Do you think that maybe if you can use that boiler, I mean, you could try, but he doesn't have to stick by that because now it's been several weeks. I don't know if he can return the boiler. I don't know that he has a use for the boiler. And I don't know that he doesn't want to get the benefit. Maybe business is slow and he wants to have the benefit of all of his bargains. He's entitled to, because you kept signing contracts for things. So I guess my point to you is you better investigate this stuff before. And it's all based on a plumber that you hired that said that it needed doing. I mean, because you know he didn't go up into the chimney. So you know that it's not something he did wrong. He didn't say, yes, I've been in the chimney and it needs doing, and then it turns out it didn't need doing. That'd be a different case. He said, this is a really old-fashioned way of doing it. You'll save money on electricity. You get rebates. You get a tax credit. And none of that's false. So what did he do wrong? He didn't breach the contract. You guys breached the contract. So how can I look at him and say you got to return money to her when he didn't breach it? You know, you made him lose his profits on this thing. All right. Look, at the end of the day, he's legally correct, you're legally incorrect, and I'm not going to order him to pay back any of the $4,000 because I find that you folks breached the contract and he's entitled to keep what would represent his profits on the case. Okay? That's my verdict.
Well, so the plaintiffs have lost their case here at the People's Court. Step on in here and give me your reaction to the outcome. You come out here on the losing end of this thing.
I'm just upset that he didn't get the dates correctly because he had the boiler there before time.
Well, you still have the burner, right?
Yes, we still have the burner.
All right, so now you have a nice burner. What are you going to do with that burner?
It's in the way. We have to sell it.
It's in the way. You're going to sell it?
Yes.
Why not go ahead and install it? You get the rebate from the government, the tax credit, the rebate from the gas company, tax credits from the...
Perfect. I'll have one that's perfect.
Wouldn't it be an upgrade for you?
No.
No? All right.
This is much smaller.
All right. Okay, you're going to sell it then.
10 times
Okay,
larger.
right down that way. Okay, you sell that thing. All right, so step on in here, sir. You have the license. You have everything. Come on over here. So how do you feel coming out of the courtroom after this ruling?
Disturbed. I mean, we did everything right. We could have saved her a lot of money. She's still making another mistake with this equipment because she'd be saving half the amount of fuel.
She should install it. Right?
Absolutely. It's an upgrade. And Obama's giving us money back for it. National Grid's giving her money back for it. She's way ahead. I just don't understand the logic. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Let's go over to Harvey.
Let me give you a little tip about how to do contracts where you expect a workman to perform on time. Put penalties in the contract. If they don't show up by a certain date, if they're longer than that date, they have to pay another $100 for every week they're delayed. If you do that, you will get better service than if you don't. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.